All right. Hi, my name is Shauna, and I am doing a testimony on how Jesus has helped me. I don't make a lot of YouTube videos. Actually, this is my first one. I'm not used to recording myself, talking into a camera. That's not really my thing. So this might be the only video I ever make. But let me get into it. I got married, what was it, like 5 years ago? And it was a toxic, horrible marriage. We met in one of those Hebrew Israelite cults. I'm from Canada. He's from the U.S. We courted for like 2 years. I went through the immigration process, got down here November 2015. Went to the courthouse. We got married, and I got pregnant pretty much immediately. And the verbal, emotional, psychological abuse, all of that gaslighting started immediately towards the end, or me leaving him. That must have been 2.5 years into the marriage. It started to get physical at times and then sexual, and eventually just got to a point where he threatened to end my life, and I was forced to leave. And when it came time for me to leave, I remember him just harassing me, like all through the night. It was weird. I thought maybe he was like bipolar or had some like personality disorder. Like the mornings he seemed okay, then he would come from work and he was like kind of chatty, and then by nighttime it was like he was like the demon came out. He would just be harassing me and just saying things like, "I know you're lying, and I know you're telling people our business," and just false accusations. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't know anybody. Like, who am I talking to? And I would always ask him, like, who is they? Like, give me a name, a place, a date. Like, who? And he never could answer. So it got to a point where I was starting to wake up, like when you're with people who are just parasitic and just draining your energy and just very demanding. Like you're just in a fog. You're not really thinking clearly. You're not necessarily conducting yourself normally. You're like questioning, second guessing yourself. There's a lot of doubt. And yeah, I got to a point where he threatened to kill me. He went upstairs. I heard his gun. If you're a gun owner, guns, they make a distinct sound. So, like, I guess not the magazine part. Where's that? That's where the bullets are, like the top part, because he had a handgun at this point and 2 assault rifles. So, in our short marriage, he had acquired like 3 firearms and like he had a tub full of like ammo and stuff. Yeah. So, once that happened, I said a prayer. I was sleeping down on the couch. I had like just given birth. So my newborn was almost 3 months. And yeah, I just stayed there, said a prayer. Didn't know what was gonna happen. Some people might say, "Well, why didn't you call 911?" Like if he heard me calling 911, like things could have just gotten. I could be dead right now. So he comes downstairs. It's morning time, and he leaves like nothing's wrong. I immediately call shelters, and God helped me to get a good shelter. I was very afraid. I'm, I'm not an American citizen or native, so I'm taking a big risk just going out of the little tiny circle that I was pretty much trapped in, down to the Uber vehicle. Like God provided me with a van. So even like just having that person come up to our driveway, because I had our pack and play, I had my newborn, and then I also had my other son who's going to be turning 2. And just what few belongings I had, like a suitcase of some clothing and books and a few toys for the kids, and that was pretty much it. So we get to the shelter, and the shelter is exactly what I needed. They provided childcare on site. They provided therapy, which I enrolled in and did 2 years of. I actually had to make notes because I know sometimes I can ramble and get off topic. They provided free legal, which I enrolled in to start the process of divorce, and even down to my caseworker. She was a Jamaican lady, and like I'm part Jamaican and Grenadian, so it was just nice to know culturally wise, like there was someone there to like just to help out, and you could just relate more. I have to look at my little notes here. The therapy was helpful. It was needed. The legal, when we started that process, my ex-husband delayed the process for a whole year, and we needed child evaluators to intercept into the divorce process because the children were so young. I have two sons. They're so young they couldn't, speak for themselves, like, okay, who I want to live with, or like, this is what my living environment was like. So once we had the meteor come in, she conducted, her studies. She came to my place. She eventually went to his. And at one point, he went to like some sort of psychiatrist place. Shortly after I left, I had left August of 2018, and he was just bombarding my phone with voice messages. It was just like ridiculous, ridiculous. And I kept the messages thinking like, okay, maybe this will be helpful for court and whatnot. But he had reached out to some sort of like psychiatric place, and through her studies, they were able to access that information from him, and we both had to provide like a lot of like medical history and work history and just personal stuff, identifications, everything. And it showed in the end that he was actually, I think, a paranoid schizophrenic. So at one point he was, I think, hearing and possibly seeing things that were not there, and he refused treatment. So that's a very dangerous mix with someone who's going through some mental issues, and then there's weapons involved. So I was not trying to end up on the news or in a morgue. So after her studies were conducted, we had court, and I'm trying to think, I think, was it last year summer or so, we had court, and I don't know, lawyer talk or jargon, and it was through Zoom, and I'm just like listening, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's happening. Like, what is she saying? What does this mean? And then after it was done and settled, my attorney called me and told me, he's like, it's great. You got everything you wanted. I was just like, what? He's like, you can travel with your kids, because that was a big issue for me. I want to at least visit home, and I needed the boys to have their passports. And if you have children who are young and you're applying for a passport, sorry, they're doing construction. You have to have at least an affidavit. Both parents need to be present. And I think that's the only way to get a passport for like young children. Yeah. An affidavit from a parent if they can't show up, they're not able to be there, or you have to both be there. So that was one of my big concerns throughout the whole divorce process. So God worked it out where I was able to get the boys their passports. They have them, but then now we have COVID. I know, but whatever. I'm glad that they got them. And I gotta look to my side here. God helped me to find work where I'm currently living. The transportation, like, you have to have a car. Like, you have to have a car. And there's no transportation. But luckily, through the program, they offered transportation if I had to, like, go to the doctors or, do groceries. But when it came to finding work, that was a problem because I was just like, okay, I have to walk wherever work's gonna be, and then I was thinking to myself like, well, how far will I walk? And I was, you know, just thinking back to the times, well, you would walk to school for culinary school, and that was like almost an hour, so you're used to this, you can do this. And I just had to like remind myself of that, even though I still had like pregnancy weight on me too. And if you live out in Texas, like this heat is no joke. So he helped me find a job, and I walked to work for 2 years. And I would Uber it home. I would, from work, rush to Walmart, do groceries, and then Uber from the Walmart. And yeah, I did that for like 2 years. And it was it was hard, but he helped me through it, and I did it. And yeah, I mean, I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And I have to revert to my notes. I'm sorry. um. Oh, and I also got my green card too. So that happened. Was it last year or the year before? So I got my 10-year green card. So my last process now is to become a citizen. But now we have COVID, and we're living in some really strange times, and this whole, getting vaccinated. I don't know how they're really conducting things now with the USCIS and that whole process. I'm just like, right now I'm content with my 10-year green card. I'm thankful for the Lord for helping me in everything He has done uh, throughout the last 5 years, like from this, horrible marriage, me getting into like this cult. I really thought like this was the way. Like I really thought, yeah, I'm doing what God wants, and this is the right way. And I was just like, mm-mm. No, He uprooted me all the way from Canada, and He said, I'm going to let you marry this deranged individual. You're going to move your whole little life all the way down south, and then you're going to go through all of this, and I'm going to bring you right back to me the right way. And that's exactly what He did. And I started a new walk with Christ. I have a relationship with Christ. I understand when people say they have a relationship with Christ, and I don't judge them. I'm not judgmental anymore. I do understand there is a personal walk that you have to go through the Lord, and no religion or church or group or whatever you're involved in is gonna really give that to you. It's a one-on-one. It's a relationship. Like you really have to learn to try and build that relationship, and that's what I've been trying to do because it's something that's new to me. I've never done that. Like I just thought I had to keep a bunch of laws and that would suffice. Like, oh, God's happy with this, so whatever. And no, it's higher, it's deeper. You need to go into that spiritual level and ask for wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and He will give that to you. I mean, if you really want that, He will provide it. And if He has to uproot you to go to another country just so He can bring you back to Him, if you have to learn the hard way like I did, like He'll do it. So, I mean, if I had to do it all over again, I think maybe I would if I knew the outcome I know now. Because if I had stayed and I never met my ex-husband, I would have probably been stuck with these people. And they need help. Some of them genuinely believe like I did, like this is the way, and it's not. With everything that's going on in the world, this is not the way. The devil is busy, 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 busy. He knows his time is short, and he's taking as many souls as he can with him. So I'm sorry if this felt like it was maybe not, very cohesively put together. But like I said, I don't make YouTube videos. I'm not used to recording. So I hope this helps someone. And yeah, just pray, read, uh, just seek Him, and